Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Tracklist podcast show. I'm Daron Jenkins,
I'm Chris Saunders.
and on today's show, a rare recent film for us, Project Hail Mary, the 2026 film that stars Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, and James Ortiz, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. A science teacher wakes up alone on a spaceship. As his memory returns, he uncovers a mission to stop a mysterious substance killing Earth's sun and realizes that an unexpected friendship may be the key. This movie's production budget was around 200 million and earned a nice sized piece of money, $667 million globally. That's pretty good.
They
I
more
didn't
than tripled
expect
their
that.
money. Yeah, especially in this day and age, where everything's going to streaming so quickly because that's where I watched it. I watched it
Yeah,
on Prime. So yeah, and has gotten a lot of good press. IMDb 8.2 out of 10. That is astronomically high for IMDb.
yeah. I was gonna say, what movie is
Astronomically.
this?
Um, Rotten Tomatoes, both critics and audience, 95%. We'll see if that goes down as this has been out a little bit longer. It's still just this year.
Yeah,
And Letterboxd 4.3 out of 5. So not bad all across the
yeah. I saw this in the theaters twice. The first time I saw it, I wasn't sure if I liked it. And this has been happening to me with a lot of films this summer. I go and I'm not really sure after I leave whether I like it. So I went to go see it again, and it grew on me a little bit more. Um, but I wasn't planning on seeing a third time, which I did because of this podcast. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, I'll just throw this out here. Like, I'm, I feel like Ryan Gosling is one of those actors that's just everywhere.
yeah,
He's just oversaturated. It's like, what's his name? Timothy Chalamet. Um, I'm just super tired of this guy. Like, I really wanted to dislike his performance. Um, but it turns out he was the only choice for Grace in this movie. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't like there was other options. But
Well, it's
uh,
just gonna get worse now. I mean, you hear that he's been chosen to play Ghost Rider.
mhm,
So
yep.
good luck there. Good luck, Chris.
I mean, Marvel is pretty consistent with its casting. I think that's probably a good one.
Yeah. No, I think it was great. I think it's going to be a great choice. So,
Um,
but I do get what you're saying about him being almost overexposed.
I mean, if you look at some of these movies, like in big movies too, like starting from like La La Land, for example, and then Barbie, this. I mean, there's been things peppered in between. It's just constant.
Yeah, didn't he do the stunt man movie?
Yep. I didn't see
Yeah,
that one intentionally.
it was okay.
Yeah. Anyway, throwing that out there, I thought the opening scene was great. Like he's a solid actor.
Yeah,
Like there's nothing like I don't think there's too much bad I could have said about his performance here.
yeah. He's I think maybe one of the reasons why you feel that way with like him is that like with some actors, um, they are able to kind of like I don't know, turn it up and turn it down and turn it up and turn it down when it comes. He's just kind of right down the middle. Like, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's pretty consistency, but also that consistency can kind of be a little bit annoying.
It sounds boring the way he just described himself.
Well, you know, like, could you see the same character? To me, it's like the question is, can you see that same character in other roles? And I feel like a few of his roles, you could just interchange them, except for maybe the Gray Man with the one he did on Netflix.
I saw that. I don't particularly remember it. Um,
There you go.
honestly, like his best performance in my recent memory is probably Ken.
Yeah. Well, he was good in that too, but you could put Ken inside that space capsule and
Maybe, maybe. Honestly, I my favorite actor and character in this was Sandra Hüller
yeah, she
as
was good.
Ava Strat. She was amazing. This is her first American film where the primary language is English.
She was like a Nick Fury esque person,
Hmm.
just gotta get it done, whatever.
Um, her just her dry delivery was just masterclass, just perfect.
Yeah,
She just I don't know what happened to this character in her life.
you but you
We didn't get any backstory about it, but like she's just like so closed off and like whatever.
yeah. Even
Uh,
when it came down to the coffee, she's like, "No, I'll need these two." I'm like, "Damn!" Like she would kill this dude for that coffee.
hmm I did want to say also just for or along the lines of credits, composer Daniel Pemberton, because I really enjoyed the score here. Um, the
Hmm.
variety of moods covered,
Yeah,
from dramatic to exciting to sad to playful, like it just covered all the bases without making this feel like a different movie every time you change this to to a different piece,
right.
right? So and he's also the composer for the Spider-Verse films, so no surprise
Yeah,
there.
it was. I feel like well, as I was watching this on Amazon, I'm thinking I felt like the score felt like I don't know. It just felt like I was watching like an artist paint something, like like the different expressions and doing different motifs and stuff. It was very clever. Um, wasn't boring at all.
Well, I'll tell you one thing when I was looking at the IMDb trivia is that in the book, um, Project Hail Mary, Rocky's language is represented by music notes, and apparently the rhythm of one of those sequences can be found as musical motifs throughout the score. So he pulled in the notes to develop the score for this, which I thought was so dope.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a lot of preamble.
Hmm.
So you kind of went through the synopsis for the film, and initially I was like, there are plenty of movies with like soul survivors on a spaceship, and initially I was like, it's very unique that they had a survivor, a character who had no idea where he was and what he was doing when he had volunteered for the mission. But later on, I guess we find out that's not the case.
Yeah, that's not the case at all.
Um, so I think generally speaking, like this film does a good job of telling the story. Sometimes it's like you feel like you're obviously hiding information from us to create a spin at some kind of spin at the end. This one
Yeah.
felt like natural the way they shot all or at least presented all these scenes.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ryan Gosling did a good job of like because you at some point you gotta you think to yourself, and if someone did that to me, if I woke up on a spaceship in the middle of space, you know how would you react to this? Like, it was kind of fucked up what they did to him.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been put into an induced coma, so I cannot speak to how he came out of it. It was a little right. This is also supposed to be have like elements of comedy, like
Yeah.
intentionally. So yeah, I get it. It's just like it was a good first scene. It was a good first scene of him waking up and like regaining his motor and vocals function functionality, like right. Um, I was like a little unclear, right? He has no memory of why he's there and what he's doing. I couldn't tell at what point he actually remembered all that because he says later on in the film that I don't remember. He doesn't remember stuff still.
Yeah. I think it was like I think it was just I feel like it was just coming to him in pieces and because even from the audience perspective, when he starts moving like he goes to look at the star map to see how far he is from our star, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this dude even like if I were up there, how in the fuck do I know what to do? Like how to use any of that equipment? I'd be afraid to touch anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And he shows that a little bit when like he's like pilot detected when he sits in the pilot chair. And it's like
Yeah,
nope, nope, nope,
see,
nope. Just
no,
like,
no, no.
but like he also mentions like he names some kind of equipment. And he's like, how do I know that? So
Yeah,
like I guess he has his like historical memory and knowledge. It's just like maybe that short term
yeah,
from all the training
yeah.
before he was induced into a coma and then wake. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure there's more scientific explanation.
We're gonna need a Neil deGrasse Tyson on this one.
Yep. Where you at? Where you at, Neil? Um, but I had a was watching this moment, and I created a new segment. I create a new segment every episode, but
Seems like it, but okay.
it's called "Shaking My Head." Did you see when he's going through his like little locker with his stuff in it, and he takes out a shirt that says AH, exclamation point, the element
Hmm.
of surprise.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That's a dad joke, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when they do the flash backwards of him in the classroom, he's clearly like he's. To be honest, I don't know what to think of the him in the before the being kidnapped and put on a ship, because the guy before him, he's kind of like and just useless. Like it makes me hard. It almost made me kind of hard to believe that this is a dude they trusted to save the universe or the Earth.
All based on this one paper he wrote.
Right. Well, yeah.
I guess they were at that point they're just grasping for straws, right? Because like they need to save the world, and they don't. Yeah, they can't figure it anyway.
Wow.
Yeah. But he's like, like Eva's character kind of says it when she meets him. Is like, you're hiding. Like you've been ridiculed by your community and your like peers, and like now you're just hiding away in a middle school as a middle school science teacher. So he's willingly and like actively trying to keep his head.
Yeah.
My question is, when they do enlist him and he starts going through all these tests, I don't know when's the last time Grace like examined samples like this in a high tech
Yes.
lab environment. But like, do those skills just die hard? Because he just jumps in there. He's like, doop, 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 like,
Yeah. I was saying the same. I'm like, is it like just riding a bike? You just
yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a lab technician. Maybe it is that easy. And we don't also don't get a how much we don't get told how much time has passed from his paper being ridiculed and then like regressing into this middle school
yeah.
teacher.
True. True. True.
Maybe it's all very recent. I don't know, but probably not too important as far as the story goes. Speaking of
Yeah.
Sandra, Sandra Huller, there's a few when she first meets him, and she's like, knock knock. He goes, who's there? She goes, not good at jokes. He's like, not good at jokes. Who? She says this
Kind of
deadpan
looks at
look.
him.
She's like, can we get on with this, please? Like, he's so good. He's so good. And like I said, this is her first English primary English film. Like we probably won't even know anything she's been in, right?
I've seen her in a few things.
Oh, she was in Anatomy of a Fall. I haven't seen it, but I know that film. That got a
Which
lot of
movie?
acclaim. Anatomy of a Fall.
Uh,
Is that was she speaking uh just speaking German in that? Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, she killed it.
she's
It was
oh
like
wow, she's going to be in the Tom Cruise project Digger that's coming out later on this year.
I see a preview for that. Oh yeah, I did. That's is that around World War II?
I think so.
So that makes sense. She might be speaking German in that one. Um, what was it? Oh, the other line when she's asking him to like figure out these, I forget what they're called, but these specimens. And great
Astrophage.
astrophage, and Grace is like, it took 200 years to understand bacteria. She's like, do it faster.
Do it faster, please.
No, there was no please. There was no please. Just so matter of fact.
I loved the whole "Am I expendable?" and then she turns around to the room of people and starts to discuss.
Oh, and he's like, oh, you have to discuss this, huh?
The consensus is they would prefer that you didn't die.
Oh my God. Like, yeah, no, she is. She's my favorite character in this. Even even
Yeah,
even with
she's great.
Rocky's pretty solid. The um the guy that plays James Ortiz is the lead puppeteer, who was,
Mm.
I guess, when they were shooting the film, he was doing all the voice for Rocky, and then they brought in other voice actors to like record over that, and they just
Oh,
thought he
really?
he did the best job, so they kept him.
Huh.
One of those
Interesting.
people being God, why can I not remember this person's name? Because I put it at the end for a potential final question. One of these people is Meryl Streep,
Oh, really?
which we'll get back.
But that's right. They even keep her voices. One of the voices he's testing out when they're trying to
Yes.
put a voice to the. Yeah.
Uh, Interesting. Very interesting. Well, the other one from Eva, when they get to the aircraft carrier, and he's like, "Where are we?" She's like, "The ocean," and then starts talking about the experiments. Like she just doesn't even give him any chance to ask another question. Where are we? The ocean. So when you go and examine these astrophages, like, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
She
Said
was
my
good.
piece. Yes.
She's fantastic. Like she didn't have to give you a lot of. It was almost like having like Spock on your team.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And then he starts doing these. Well, when they start doing the experiments back in that, I don't know, mountain lab,
Yeah.
and they lose the astrophase, they lose the dots. I was like, oh, like that was my anxiety was high. There's a few moments in this movie where like pure anxiety.
Yeah, because this could have completely turned into a different movie. This could have suddenly turned into the movie Contagion instead of, you know,
Like if they lose those dots, which I guess they had more, but they only gave him three to work with, include on in addition to the dead one, the one he killed.
right.
I guess there was probably more to spare, but like, yeah, it's still like, come on, man.
And
Ugh.
I love how he's like, oh, what happened? And he's like, he died.
Well, that's what I was talking with the score was that at that point where, when he's like he's got his hands in the air, he's like, yes,
Yeah,
they're alive, da, da. And then it's like the music just stops suddenly. It's like, oh, they died. Like I love how they use the music to like mirror
yeah, yeah.
the emotion and the activity going on in the scene like
It
perfectly.
definitely. This is like one of those times when we talked before about how the music becomes another character in the movie.
Yeah, and like right now we're talking about the score. We haven't talked about um the music
Exactly. Yeah.
supervised music, right? Plus I have questions about that because on what song they have a couple lists. I don't know how this works for the soundtrack, but they have "I Would Die for You," Prince, which is in the trailer. Did you hear it in the movie?
No, there's a lot of the songs that they listed that I was like, when did that play?
Well, then they have a second list that shows it like in the timeline, and that seems more accurate because they also have listed here Champagne Supernova. That might have been another trailer, right?
Yeah,
Was there a
the
second trailer that
Champagne
had,
Supernova did not play in this
yeah,
movie.
but love both those songs. I wish they were.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite songs.
But yeah, again, the score. There's a lot of stuff I really enjoyed about this. Cinematography. They just had like moments like in the first scene when he's acclimating himself to the ship and like he's I don't know bending his head or whatever, or turning his body, and like the camera like shifts with him so that he's never
Yeah,
upright. Just doing stuff like that. Obviously the VFX are just solid, absolutely solid.
yeah. This is a there's I mean the anti gravity of the moment when he find like they the ship starts to move. He's like, whoa, whoa, no, no. His
Yeah,
reactions to everything that happens on the ship. This movie sound it was like it was kind of like a comical interstellar.
yeah, not as I was gonna say philosophical, but like more like interdimensional. Not they're not the same thing like interdimensional. They do
Right.
talk about like different levels of understanding, right? Like Rocky does not see light the same way humans do. So like his perception of things and not seeing like the planet, we'll call it Adrian because that's what they call it. He can't see all those beautiful green and whatever hues. He just sees that it's a rough texture. I was reading something that says like, yeah, that green is a can be described as rough. I think it's in the trivia, the IMDb trivia. But so that's cool how they get that accurate and granular. Um, oh man, like I was talking about cinematography. That shot where the Rocky is sending the messages from his ship over, and then when he finally gets to it, they're only showing his silhouette, and then like he you see the silhouette like touch the canister or he catches it and like drops it, and then you see a silhouette come up with the canister in his hand. So I love that shot. Like, where they could have just shown him doing it directly, but they just chose to use the silhouette instead. So I thought that was like a cool way to do it.
Yeah. That was a nice sequence. I do like the fact that when he throws it the first time, it comes over kind of fast, and the second time he throws it, he's like, "Why is it coming over so slow?" Oh, they
They
think
think
I'm
I'm.
stupid.
But like that theme continues throughout when he actually does meet Rocky and they actually do start becoming friends and working together. And Rocky says a few times like remember when he's like Rocky makes a suggestion for something, he's like, "Oh, I didn't think of that." Rocky's like, "I did."
I did.
And I did write down when the centrifuge becomes operational, going from zero gravity, oh yeah, to gravity, he's
Yeah,
floating, and
yeah.
then
That's
like
what.
and it's turning, and then like he slowly like touches down. That was also a cool shot. So yeah, a lot of good stuff here. I mean, I'd say this is good filmmaking. Um, in addition to, I feel like when we do this present, going from the present to flashbacks, it's usually a lot quicker. You spend a lot less time on those scenes. I really liked how much time they spent on each scene. It was like 15 to 20 minutes of him
Yeah.
in the first scene, acclimating to the station, and then when they went back, it's 15 to 20 minutes in the classroom, being approached by Eva, starting the experiments, and then back to the ship. I thought that really helped the storytelling, and moved this movie forward in a way that it didn't drag. This was a 2 hour and almost 2 hour and 40-minute movie. It
Yeah.
didn't feel
We
like it.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was well balanced between the present and the past, and they didn't over explain two things, because that would have been like, come on, you know, like you didn't assume everybody was stupid in the theater as well, like, so they did a fair amount of explaining the technical stuff within a certain confine, like they didn't get too technical, um,
Yeah.
which I
Yeah,
like too.
it's solid. This is my first time seeing it. You mentioned this was your third. Um, Even with my critical lens on, I enjoyed it. Or maybe because of my critical, maybe because we are looking at all these like different parts of filmmaking that I can appreciate. But
Yeah,
I will watch this again just to watch it,
yeah,
and we'll see how much more I like it, or if I like it less, we'll see. Or maybe
yeah.
it'll be too much Gosling for me, and maybe I'll like it less the second time.
Too much Gosling. Okay.
Not talking about the rum.
Okay.
Goslings? You never heard of Gosling?
No.
You need to drink.
Yeah. No. Thanks.
Also, probably some of the more creative alien and alien ship designs I've ever seen. I've seen recently. Really well done.
Well, that's one of my favorite scenes. One of my favorite scenes is when Gosling, the ship, tells him there's a signal out there, and he kind
Hmm.
of look. You can see him look, and you can see the shadow of the ship in the sun, and suddenly it's right up next to him, and he's like, "Why? What do you want? Why you keep following me?"
Well, again, where the writing is like really successful is how he is determining what this thing is, what their intentions are. They're
Yeah.
following him, but they're not attacking him. And then like
Right.
the key thing is like when he makes those three short thrusts
Yeah.
in the ship, and then and then Rocky's ship does the exact same thing, mirroring him. I thought it was really cool, like kind of basic scientific experimentation of like,
Yeah.
if I do this, they do this. Like, what are their like, and figuring out like, okay, they're friendly, and then that kind of continues on when he starts communicating with Rocky. Like, maybe this is very basic to a scientist, but I was just like, oh, this is really cool. Like, this is a great way to like um make that contact, like that first
Yeah.
contact.
Yeah.
And it didn't slow the movie down.
Yeah.
There
It
are
was
points. I'm not gonna say there's no points where it gets a little slow. There are, but not very few and far between.
Well, the one thing, and I think they did it on purpose, which is like, so we're so used to seeing sci-fi movies like Star Trek and Star Wars, and where, some ship shows up all, like nearby, and suddenly we don't know what's going on, and it's very, contentious and the whole bit. And this simplified that first contact situation very much so, to the point where he even goes, shields, put up the shields. It's like there are no shields.
Why are there no shields? Yeah, no, there's some. It almost makes me want to read this book because it sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
And you'd probably get that. That's where you get more explanation of like his inner thoughts and thinking on like how to approach Rocky on that first contact, right? You get those
yeah,
inner monologues and stuff. So,
yeah,
and I kind of want to see this like musical notes that they put for Rocky's language.
yeah, yeah. Well, we also, I mean, I don't want to speed through this, but at the end of this, toward the end of this movie, we get a bonus treat of seeing, you know, an alien planet, and which like Interstellar didn't really explore, and you know, we don't necessarily ever get that bonus piece of what usually is okay. He dies and that's it. The end of the movie. Let's roll credits. He saved the Earth. This was a nice. I like the way it almost makes me feel like they're planning a second movie.
I was just thinking that um, because he does say like Rocky's like we have planned the council or whatever has like already to begin plans to like send you get you home, and he's like, "Can I think about it?" I'm like, "Oh God!" Like, but how do you? What's the next step in that, right? It's not. Is it called Project Hail Mary 2? Is there more of these astrophage? Is there another threat?
Well,
Like
there
it's not
is.
over? I don't know.
Remember, because in the beginning of the movie, they say basically every star has been infected except for the one that they went that Rocky and Grace um, went to. So they went there to find out why that star wasn't being affected. So
Right,
it
but what's
could
but so
be
what's
that
the
the
threat?
next
They
one
go to save everybody else?
is the other stars. Maybe, maybe that's the next. Maybe I mean maybe we're looking at the beginnings of the Federation,
I mean,
where
that would
they
be
save
hilarious.
other planets. You know,
Well, you know,
that would I hope they don't do that. But
not everything has to be a
right,
franchise.
right, right. Well, not according to Hollywood.
Well, I saw something on social media recently, sidebar, of Sylvester Stallone saying he like dropped the ball with not making Tango and Cash and Demolition Man franchises.
Definitely messed up with
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Yeah,
I love Demolition Man. But
maybe
like that, but
that's
after the movie though, that seems more like a TV, like a series, not a bunch of movies. Like
yeah.
you killed Simon Phoenix. Don't bring him back. You kicked his head off. Don't do it. Like
No, you just track down
spoiler
all the
everybody.
other escape prisoners.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
it's
again,
kind of
that's it's like a TV, but that's still a TV show to me.
TV. Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely a streaming show on Hulu Max. I mean, HBO Max.
I'm gonna take a moment to pause the film and just go back and talk about some of the songs before we like lose track.
Hmm.
Because when he first wakes up, they're playing Chris Christopherson's Sunday Morning Coming Down.
Yeah,
I feel like most of the songs in this were like more mood, not like literal like we often have.
yeah,
Like Sunday Morning Coming Down was just like, oh, like he's waking up Sunday morning, hey, like, he's
yeah,
coming
yeah,
down
yeah,
from like a bad hangover or something, which is the induced coma. So it just felt like, um, yeah, it felt more like mood. And then when Grace and Carl gather hardware supplies when they go shopping, they
yeah,
had this song Pata Pata by Miriam Makeba.
yeah,
I feel like there was no literal meaning there either. It was just like fun
yeah,
shopping trip.
yeah.
Did you hear El Amanecer?
Nope.
Grace performs urgent mechanical repairs to activate the ship's centrifuge. I don't remember hearing the song.
Remember in the yeah, I don't remember having that being played at that point.
But also, I wouldn't have understood it anyway because it's in Spanish.
I
So I
wonder
don't know.
if some of these songs that they played, the pieces that they played were more like the instrumental pieces of those songs that unless you knew what you were listening to, you wouldn't have known
Maybe,
that was the song.
or maybe it's just instrumental. So yeah, maybe it is just instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Good point. I feel like Rainbows by Dennis Wilson. Um, this is when Grace is calculating the ship's trajectory, determining an arrival at Tau Ceti. I feel like just there's universe is very colorful and there's a rainbow. Like it looks like rainbows. I feel like it's probably
Yeah.
anyway. That's just like kind of going through some of the songs in there. Like, again, it was very mood driven, except for the karaoke scene.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple, but the karaoke scene with the people on Earth preparing to go on the mission. Scorpions, Wind of Change. That's a
Yeah.
freaking classic song. Um, I mean, Wind of Change itself, like that title, I think has a message behind it.
Mm.
And then Eva, who does a great job of singing "Sign of the Times," Harry Styles. If you look at those lyrics, pretty heavy, pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I think that was a
She's
great scene because it showed the gravity, pun intended, of the mission, what was at stake, and her being someone that is so closed off and dry, singing this song.
yeah.
It's like the equivalent of like having like this tough action hero crying, right? If you see that happen, you're like, oh shit, like something went down, right? So, um,
This what was this? What was the movie with Bruce Willis and Armageddon?
mhm,
When they all know that they may not make it back, and so they all have different things that they're doing. This was that version of that.
mhm, which again is a end of the world movie. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. There's more to talk, more songs to talk about, but I just thought I'd like pause for 1 second to check to discuss those. Um, and I saw this other trivia piece. I was just going through the trivia and this like caught my eye because I realized they didn't have captions for this. When Grace first meets the team of astronauts, Yao, by the way, Yao, played by Ken Leung, we've spoken about him multiple times. Um, they have an exchange in Chinese. Apparently, they didn't show any captions for this, but IMDb sorted that for us. Yao says, "Why does he talk like we are all children?" And Strat says, "It doesn't matter. You get used to it." I just thought that was funny. That's all.
Speaking of which, the actress who's also a part of the astronaut team, do you recognize that woman?
Milana Vine
Fine Club.
Vinetube Vinetube.
Yeah.
I can't say I do.
You obviously didn't your phone service isn't AT&T. She used to be the AT&T girl.
Oh my God, that's her?
That's her.
No way.
Yeah.
She was in This Is Us apparently,
Yeah.
which I've
Yeah.
never watched, so that makes sense. Uh, I don't see AT&T on her in her
It's
credits.
her, trust me. She's big
Ghostbusters.
on TikTok.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah,
she's
she
in.
was in Ghostbusters too. Yeah, she was in Ghostbusters.
Yep, there it is. It's in her bio. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm saying, right?
Um, but it wouldn't be a track list episode without a segment of. So hold up. Aliens send you something in a canister, and you just open it up and smell what's inside.
Well, he said it was like if he thought it could be a bomb. He thought it was going to be a bomb. I'm like, well, if you thought it was going to be a bomb, why in the world are you smelling it?
So maybe they were
He's
right
like,
that he's dumb.
oh no, no. He's, there are a few moments in this movie where you got like, we're all gonna die because this dude is not the dude.
So it's like the quote from
But
Hitch.
but then
You
he
are
would
the
calculate.
you are the dumbest smart person I've
Uh,
ever met.
yeah, I mean, then he would go and do a calculation of fuel, and I'm just like, okay. Didn't he even say he's like, am I smart?
Yeah, in the beginning. But here's
Yeah,
the thing. Uh, I don't know what he's writing on that board. He could just be making
well,
scribbles. You don't know.
the, yeah, well, but I put it like this: he's the only one who'll find out. If he's wrong, he's gonna find out the hard way.
All right, but I have some more questions, and it's probably right. This is like the not explaining. They didn't over explain shit. Like just assume some shit. I don't know, but I still have some questions. So he seems to need this computer to understand what Rocky is saying.
Yep.
But does Rocky understand him?
Yes, because he's that's how they're doing. That, I had that question as a, too. I was like, how realistic is what they're doing? And basically, Rocky's providing him with the sound, and then mapping the English to the sound, so that when he says the word, they plays the sound.
Was it playing a sound when Grace was talking? Was it playing the sound
Yeah,
back? Oh, I
yeah,
didn't even notice that. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I just didn't hear the sound.
yeah. My only question is seriously, how like I feel like weren't they supposed to be saving stars? They took like a significant amount of time just to create a dictionary.
Hey man, you gotta do the work. You gotta do the work. And they
Mm,
also had like what, 30 years? At least the
yeah,
Earth had 30 years to do this, so
yeah,
I don't, also they don't say how long it's taken them to get, do they? Well, it's
yeah.
gonna take 11 years to get back. So did
Yeah,
it take 11 years to get there? So he's only got like 19 years. Anyway, but
yeah. It's
um,
yeah, yeah.
my other question is, if Rocky's technology is so much more advanced, why isn't he doing more of the testing in his ship?
So that's actually funny. You mentioned there's a website that like gives you all these different questions about the movie, about the book. And one of the questions that they pose is why, like in the, because the answer must be in the book. Why isn't, if Rocky's people are so advanced, why don't they have computers? And they don't use computers. Apparently, I haven't read the book, so there's apparently an answer to that question, which, if they answer that, would probably answer your question as well.
Well, there was a IMDb trivia piece saying that in the book, Rocky's contribution is much more prevalent. The two work together for weeks to breed the nitrogen-resistant Talmiba, and shit. shit happens, but like he's more involved in the book. So like we're just not seeing it.
We're
We're not
not
seeing it
seeing it.
here.
Yeah.
In the book, does he move into Grace's ship? If your ship is more advanced, why wouldn't you just
Go to
here?
the
I
other
don't know.
one, right? Yeah. I
Ugh.
thought that too. I was like, why wouldn't you just go to Rocky's ship? Because his shit has got more tech.
Why don't we pause this episode? I'm gonna go read the book. I'll be right back.
See you in about 3 weeks.
Now you give me too much credit, bruh.
Yeah, that's true.
3 months, perhaps. I got really dark. Anyway, I was, again, like it's probably better that they didn't go into that kind of detail. It'll probably make the movie longer, perhaps slower, and so
Yeah.
it's all good. I just assumed everything worked out.
Maybe they just didn't want Grace to look like he was an idiot. Or more of an idiot, should I say.
I do love the scenes where Grace is like recording messages to send back to Earth, and like he's like
Oh,
two rooms away, and
I can
Rocky's
hear
like,
you.
who are you talking to? It's like you can hear that? Yes. Like that whole back and forth is great. Um, but generally speaking, and you might disagree, I don't think this was like a groundbreaking. I'm going back to Ryan Gosling. I don't think it's like a groundbreaking performance by Gosling. He holds his own. It's fine. Like it's not distracting. But I think any number of other actors could have done this.
Interesting. Really?
Timothy Chalamet.
Well, oh God, no, please. Ryan Reynolds.
I think Ryan Reynolds could have done it.
Yeah,
Maybe it would have been too
quippy.
funny with
Yeah,
his, yeah, too quippy. I think that's probably it. But I don't know, like, well, we'll do our final questions later because we can explore it there. But I don't know, like, I was just about to say Idris Elba, but then it's too serious. It gets too serious.
yeah, yeah. You could have even put a woman in this role,
Yeah.
and that would have actually been interesting too. Sandra Bullock. Just throw her up in there. She's
Mm.
been to space.
Now you got me thinking, but maybe
Yeah,
maybe that'll be a final question. We'll think about that as we continue here. But in the
yeah,
meantime, Darren, I've got a pop quiz for you.
yeah.
I do, and hopefully it's easy. What movie slash franchise does Grace reference when he holds the piece of glass up to his face and mimics floating through space?
Oh, a Star Trek. No, Superman. Sorry,
Oh my
Superman.
God! Oh my, boy, you better
The
get that.
Fortress of Solid, the Phantom Zone.
Thank goodness. I should deduct you a point for saying Star Wars in the first place, though.
What?
You got it. You got it. It's the Phantom Zone where Zod and his two minions are floating through space. That was funny. That was funny. Good job. I think there was some other callbacks to other films, space films as well, but
Yeah, there were. I
IMDb.
think there were
It's
some
on IMDb.
callbacks to
Yeah.
Star Trek, Star Wars. Yeah, there was a few. E.T.
Did they do ET?
Yeah, the when he kept poking at the glass, he's like,
Uh,
"Oh, you're a big poker, aren't you?"
um, we've mentioned in the last like 3 minutes, we mentioned three John Williams films: Star Wars, Superman, ET.
Yeah,
But anyway, going back to the cinematography, I'm jumping back because like towards the end of this film, they're collecting samples from the it's not astrophage samples, it's the samples of the Talmiba.
yeah. Talmiba. Yeah,
And like they try and get out of orbit, but they can't. Like something goes wrong and they start spinning out of control. Like as they're trying to escape Adrian's orbit, like I felt the force. I think part of that is the cinematography. Part of that is Ryan Gosling because he was they had him on like wires and stuff. Like he talks about how that was super hard because to mimic weightlessness. But then when they're like trying to break orbit and spinning out of control, like he was like really flying around the thing, and like at the end his face smashes into the screen, into the controls. I was feeling that. I was like trying to
Yeah,
hold on to my seat too.
yeah. It was, yeah. That was some good special effects and acting. It was a that that's where the whole interstellar kind of like I saw some of like the similarities between interstellar and this because they kind of do a similar move. Um, Actually, even better than that, the movie with um, the Martian, the Martian actually when he tries to escape Mars and there's like they're trying to time it up so the ship is spinning and whatever. I'm like, dude,
Yeah, I have I have another one for you, but it's in the final questions.
mm,
um, yeah, man. I mean, kind of like where my notes ended. I think I there's a lot of gaps in my notes because I was actually like enjoying just watching the film at points, and I was kind of point, and I just like write down things that really, like you said, they. It's actually really cool that I think most films would have had him go home or die in space. This one had him on his way home, figure out that like there's a danger to Rocky's ship, send the information back to Earth, and then go save Rocky. And then end up, like you said, living on his planet. This is an
yeah, I
interesting
mean,
ending.
that was interesting ending, right?
Hmm.
Like you normally don't get that. You just get like I was fully expecting like, okay, well, he saved them. Now we're gonna give you a ship and let you head back home, kind of thing.
Hmm.
See, this dude is teaching classes on an alien planet.
I guess
I
he is
mean,
smart.
that's kind of dope.
But yeah, man. So like, guess feel good movie, right? Happy ending.
Yeah, yeah. Not sure how I
But
feel about that, but all right.
there were a few other songs. Uh, which honestly, that was one thing I wanted to discuss
What's that?
is intention. I think the intentionality of this soundtrack and where they're pulling from, because you have um, the first song is Chris Christopherson's pretty much country. Miriam Makeba
Yeah.
is I don't know where she's from, but sounds African. Uh, at one point, by the way, they do hum the theme to Close Encounters of the Third Time, so that's John Williams again. Rainbow's Dennis Wilson was more R&B soul. Let's call the whole thing off as 1940s sort of
Jazz,
blues, right?
blues and jazz. Yeah.
Winds of Change, rock, Sign of the Times, pop. There's a song Po'ataru called "A Farewell Song," which is it's by the Turakina Maori Girls Choir, so New Zealand.
Yeah.
All the different places they're pulling stuff from. You have Beatles, which is kind of rock, but classic rock. Stargazer, Neil Diamond, more singer-songwriter. And then the closing credits are Glory, Glory by I Can Tina Turner, which is like uh, R&B funk, right? Like
Yeah.
gospel, right? The span of different different music is, I think, very intentional because it's like representing Earth, right? It's like the record that we've sent out into space with all these like songs that represent our
Yep.
planet.
Yep.
So I thought that
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's so diverse and so it almost. gives me Miami Vice uh, feelings because of they like you said they use a lot of the music for mood versus like some type of deep meaning. They kind of just were trying to set the mood for you, you know.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I'd left out some of the songs that show up in this movie because I just didn't hear them all, but they are in the on whatsong.com. But one of them that's listed is the final bell from Rocky. I
okay,
didn't hear it. They were watching the movie, but I didn't hear it. But there's like more orchestrated music, right? So it's another
yeah,
genre. I think they did well, and I love I love that piece, by the way.
yeah.
I'll stop.
Feel like we would have recognized that song.
Yeah, I think they just put it in there because like the movie was playing, and
Mm.
anyway. But before we move on to like quotes and what the fuck moments, or is there anything else from the film that like really captivated you?
One dude who like I think was perfect for the movie, even though he doesn't talk a lot, which is Carl. Carl
Carl
is
was
the
good.
man.
Carl was good, but at the end, I mean, I know he's trying to give him a pep talk. Like, you know who you are, but like, yeah, but I'm getting a fucking needle stuck into my neck right now, asshole. Like, do
I
something.
mean, just messed up, dude.
Yeah. I think one quote, I don't know, one quote just hit me was when they're talking about Rocky's mate, and Grace is like, "You've been together a long time," and Rocky's like, "It's not enough." I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah,
They've been together for like 140 something years, right? Like I was like, "Oh man, that line." I was like, "Damn,
yeah,
that's a good line."
yeah.
I think
Mm.
my what the fuck is like how they force Grace, putting him into a coma. That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Well, what my one of my second favorite scene is that scene where like he's he's like kind of doing this and he's like, well, who else can we get to be on the ship? And he doesn't hear anything. He kind of just looks up and
Hmm.
they're all looking at him and he gives like this subtly imperceptible head shake that's kind of like no, no.
Did I miss the subtlety?
Yeah, that
Maybe I
was
did.
it was just like
Maybe I didn't
yeah.
expect it from Ryan Gosling.
I was just like, oh no, he like I mean, he's like, I'm not an astronaut. He's like, I put the not in astronaut.
Dude, like it's funny because that's another unique part of this film is that eventually the main character, the hero, would like acquiesce to going on the mission and like sacrificing himself. He does not. He
Right,
has to be
right.
forcibly put on that ship.
I did not expect that. I expected him to go, okay, but no, no, no. They
And it's like,
he was not
okay,
going.
it's like, yo, what the fuck would you say? Like,
Yeah,
so it's more relatable. It's a more relatable position to take.
and the captain kind of sets the stage for it when Gosling
Yeah,
says, like, I didn't have that hero gene. He's like, you don't need a gene. You just have to think of somebody else, somebody who would benefit from you going.
but he only
And
discovers that when he meets
right,
Rocky.
right.
There's nobody on Earth for him to do that. Yeah, no, it's a really interesting twist to that hero character. But it is kind of a transform. Well, most stories are transformative, but this one is transformative in that respect.
It was also at this moment when they're chasing him around the place that I almost wished that instead of Ryan Gosling, it was Will Ferrell. Because just to see Will Ferrell running around would have been just worth it for that just that one scene.
Maybe they could have used Will Ferrell as his stunt double for that one.
Stunt double, right?
Um, are you ready for the final questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm gonna start it off by because we just kind of hinted at this earlier. Female male actor better in this role. Like not better. Who else could have played Grace? Like you mentioned someone already. Like I was gonna
Ryan
throw in like
Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds. Where I kind of said might have been too quippy. We could throw in some of our other. I was gonna throw in our one of our original questions, which is like, could Tom Hanks have been in this role?
Yeah, he could
That
have
balance
probably
of comedic timing and dramatic acting could have worked.
like an early 1990s Tom Hanks would have been fantastic in this.
What do we think of like our other ones? Like honestly, um, skipping over Will Smith and Michelle Yeoh for one of my recent questions, which is John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I could see that.
He is an amazing dramatic and comedic actor, so he would at least be able to do that balance. Does he have the uh slapstick chops for some of those scenes?
I've seen him do some comedy. I think gives him some license.
Maybe from what's the superhero movie he plays the evil clown in?
Oh, Spawn.
Spawn. Spawn. I'm sure there was some slapstick in there. He was wearing a big round suit.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought
I'm surprised you didn't mention Michelle because I think she could have played Eva for sure.
Eva. Oh, well, yeah. She also I think she's like that's where we always talk about her. She has range. And she probably could have delivered those lines dryly, which is probably similar to Crazy Rich Asians, her role in Crazy Rich Asians.
Mm,
So
yeah.
yeah, yeah, probably. Anyway, okay, okay, we got some options there. Um, so I mentioned that Meryl Streep was one of the voice actors that they explored for Grace. What do you how do you think this movie is with her if they had selected
For
her
Rocky, right?
for Rocky? Yeah,
Yeah. Because you said Grace. So no. Um, Meryl Streep can do anything. I mean, seriously,
that's what he said. That's what he says. She can do anything.
she can do anything. I mean,
But is it better? Like I did like um was it John Ortiz? Misnaming this person. James Ortiz. I liked his inflections as this
yeah.
character. So like does Meryl Streep do it better? I don't know. I don't know. I liked what he did.
Tell you who I would. I thought he was great. Um, there's only one other person I would have seen like maybe wanted to do just simply because for the comedy pieces of it, and that would be Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah. Who's that? There's another guy though. He does a lot of voiceover work. Alan Tudyk.
Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk. Alan Tudyk is the Meryl Streep of voices. He can do anything.
Or uh Andy Serkis.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's done some great. I mean, Golem from Lord of the Rings, but he's done a lot of stuff. And like even when you see him in not Civil War, he was in one of the Marvel films as a
Yeah,
Claw.
he was in Winter Soldier.
So he does that. Like he does the South African dude Claw. Right. Anyway, I feel like he's got good vocal range as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, just throwing some stuff out there.
Mm.
I also thought maybe it was Sign of the Times in one of the previews as well, but I could have sworn it was David Bowie's Space Oddity. It was in one of the previews. I'm probably answering my own question, but was it too obvious to have that as one of the songs in the soundtrack?
Uh, mm, I think it still would have made sense.
Or has it been overused?
Well, if you're going by that, then yeah, probably because I mean, uh, these songs that are on this list, maybe there's like maybe one or two that you might consider overused, but for the most part, some of these songs I never even heard of.
Well, I liked how they used "Let's Call the Whole Thing Off."
Yeah,
Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Armstrong, but like Grace and Rocky are singing karaoke.
yeah,
And even for a song that's about how we differently pronounce things, Rocky is mispronouncing it. Like you say potato and I say potato or something like that. He was just like adding extra syllables to it. It was great. And Grace is like, nope, nope, that's not it. That was a funny scene. All right, I got one last question for you,
yeah.
which is goes into something we were talking about earlier about other films. Which film does a better job of capturing the awe and terror of space? This one, Hail Mary, or Gravity?
I'd say Gravity simply only because there aren't a lot of happy scenes in Gravity.
That's the most anxiety-ridden film I ever watched.
Really?
I cannot. I'm never gonna watch that. But we were talking about like the scene where they're trying to get out of orbit after collecting the samples and like spinning out of control, like Gravity. That's the whole fucking movie. It's that scene for 2.5 hours. It's fucking never watching that again. I, as I was answering this, I had to break it down. I think capturing the awe is Operation Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, and terror is Gravity. I just split them up
Mm,
to two different answers.
yeah, Gravity was, you know, yeah. It would. Let's put it this way: if you showed me that before I joined up for the space program, I'm not joining up for the space programming.
Nope,
So,
nope. All right, bruh. So, what's your favorite song and the song you think encompasses the story?
uh, uh, probably I liked the first song from Chris Christopherson. One, because I had never heard that song, and I'm surprised I had never heard this song before. Um, and it just had like this feeling to it, like I don't know, it was just such a mood inducing tune. Um, Favorite song? Um, I mean, song. I don't know for me if there is one, but I'm going to say "Sign of the Times" simply because it was such a key moment in the
Scene.
movie,
Yeah.
and just like let you know that the people in this room that are here singing, they're not going to be back. They, they're they're sacrificing everything for this. And that shit is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I have to build off of that. Um, just listening and reading the lyrics, like, welcome to the final show. Hope you're wearing your best clothes. You can't bribe the door on your way to the sky. You look pretty good down there, but you ain't really. Anyway. There's other Sign of the Times. Um, Damn, there was other stuff in here, but if people want, I'm not gonna read the whole song. If you want to like check this out, there's a lot of like relevant lyrics, not just to the situation, but to like space and other stuff like that. So
Yeah.
definitely the one I would select for the song that encompasses it, whether that's intentional or not, because it's like such a key part of the film, key scene. The closing credits are glory, glory, but again, that feels almost like mood.
Yeah.
Great song, amazing song, but it felt more like mood than like actually being like something that's literal to the film.
Yeah.
Favorite song? There's a few in here, but I gotta go with Wind of Change, Scorpions. It's
Hmm.
such a classic song and like so meaningful. Like the
Yeah.
fall of the Berlin Wall, kind of like that's what they're talking about, singing about.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I remember just like seeing that on MTV in the '90s when I was growing up. Going with that one. What do you rate this film out of 10?
Uh, you know, this movie is oddly, I guess, a rewatchable movie. Be honest, I haven't really thought about it until to today. Like it's a like you could sit and like if this movie comes on and you know it's like 30 minutes in, I think this movie will draw you back into it because there's just so many nice little layers to this movie. And to be honest, I think the most biggest reason this is a rewatchable movie is because of the performance of Sandra Hüller. I think she's so like on point for this movie that you want to see why she is who she is and what's going on. You don't get any of those answers, but she gives you plenty of reasons to keep watching the movie. So I give it an 8.
8. Well, I win this battle.
Would you give it a 6?
I'm giving it a 9.
Whoa. Wow.
This movie is long,
It is
but there's
long.
very little wasted screen time.
Yeah, you can't really tell that it's long, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think with a movie that's 2 hours and 40 minutes long, it's just integral. It's like it's completely important that you do that for the for the watcher.
Yeah.
Um, you get that balance of drama, comedy, action. Um, kind of touches on all these different points. Um, and the fact that I've seen Ryan Gosling in way too many things recently is not too much of a distraction. So that's somehow they were able to do that. And yes, Sandra Huber
Yeah.
is spectacular, and I hope she's good in that Digger one. I wasn't really drawn in by that movie, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's yeah, we'll see.
Sorry,
Plus a big
Sandra Hula. I
yeah.
said Hooper Hula. All right. Well, cool. We did a 2026 film,
Yeah, I know.
and we both
Well,
enjoyed
no,
it.
I think we've done. Did we do it? We did another one
We
this
have,
year.
we
Yeah,
have, we have, we have, we have. But
we're getting better at it.
well, we do like our movies we grew up with as well. So
Plus, I mean, Hollywood is cooperating and they're putting more of these new films on streaming faster. So if
do
they want
beautifully.
to keep doing that, I'm all for it.
It does help us, but
Yes,
I this is a movie
selfishly.
that I would have preferred to see in the theater first.
You should have, because it's especially the scene where they're trying to capture the cure from that whole shit was spectacular.
Yeah, so I mean, it's probably in theaters in some limited locations, but it's already streaming. So like, there is a positive, but there's also a negative. As a movie fan, I wish it was in the theaters longer and close to me. Right, I'm still searching for it. As a podcaster, it's
Yeah, yeah.
oh
It's all right. At least you'll get to see Ryan Gosling and Ghost Rider now.
yeah. What do you got coming up, man?
Oddly, it is quiet at the moment, except for doing the story lab every Wednesday. Um, Personally speaking, my projects are in a status of, you know, wait and see what happened. I did just interview Camilla. Borghesani, who's in a movie, Virginia Woolf movie that just released recently, and I got some other people coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. You follow me on the Daron Jenkins and catch me on there. I usually post stuff there. What about
You
you?
got Shaka. When is this episode coming out?
Next week?
Like Thursday?
Yep.
Then tomorrow, go to everywhere you stream music, anywhere you stream music, and listen to Caribbean Nights.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming. 3-song EP. Really excited to get it out there. We put a lot of work into it. And it's probably the biggest production thus far with like live instruments and like everything, like all the different musicians that have been involved. So please check it out, share it, stream it, all that good stuff. And in between,
Yeah.
listen to some more Tracklist.
Yeah. Listen to as much and grab a t-shirt or two while you're up there on our merch space, tracklist.fourthwall.com. So got some nice t-shirts up there. We'll probably have some new designs in the next couple weeks as well. So
I don't know why I did not put mine on today, but I do enjoy it greatly. I'll have it on for the next episode. I just got my Harlem shirt on today.
okay. I mean, I'm original gaming today, so yeah. I just watched it. It's folded. I didn't want to unfold it yet. So all right. Well, then I guess that wraps it up. Unless you have anything else you want to share.
Well, stupidly, yes, album's dropping tomorrow. Album release show August 21st at Sugar Mouse, 7 p.m. Come
First time
celebrate.
there, right?
Yep, it's a relatively new venue. First time there. Excited to check it out.
Cool. Yeah. Make sure to come out to listen to the sweets. And you're going to be playing stuff from the new EP, right?
But yeah, that's the album
So
release
there you
show. I'm
go.
gonna have those songs playing plus some other reggae
Shouldn't stop you
joints.
from listening though. So listen to wherever you get your music, and then come out and watch it before perform
And
live.
listen to the songs as much as you can in the next between like 2 to 3 weeks between the release and the show, and sing along when you get there.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps it up. Till next time, I am Daron Jenkins,
I'm Chris Saunders.
and this was the
Track
Tracklist.
list.
Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.